We talked the other day, we never got into the fullbacks.
Yes, sir.
Could you just talk a little bit about what Drew brings and what you've seen in him in the few practices you've had?
Well, Drew brings a good playing experience. Having moved over here from the Southeastern Conference, he's played some good football. He's done some really good things as far as being involved in special teams prior to coming here, and those are some things we expect to see him do here. Be a product for us with helping Coach Regal and the special teams units out, getting going there. Be it any of the core four. For us there. And then also, he brings a little bit of experience as well in the running back room and doing some good things as far as understanding blocking techniques, understanding leverage, understanding how the game can play out. So excited about what he brings to the table with his experience and his background within having played a few years. Hopefully him and Zach will do a good job of being able to push each other and also, learn from each other and him give Zach some information that he's had just from his years again of playing down there in the SEC.
And Zach, can you just give a little capsule report on him?
Well, Zach has done a really good job in his transition from linebacker. When we first got started in the spring, you can still see that there were some things that he needed to break as far as habits of play that weren't really conducive at fullback that he may have been able to use at linebacker. But one of the things that he has been able to do well is use his knowledge of the defense and kind of helping guys understand what the defense may be doing or how Coach Sermon's defense or our defense here at Cal, what they may be doing. So that's been a nice little nugget to have in the room. And we start to hear some calls and we talk about what those are. But, in the time that we've had during this whole quarantine, if you will, this shutdown, you really seen Zach, in my opinion, really convert his body much better. He's not, kind of that linebacker body that he had going, and he's running so much more fluidly. You can see that Coach Beckton and the training staff that have been able to get the work in during the abbreviated summer that we had. They've done a great job in getting the guys ready. You definitely see it playing through with Zach, and with that, want to make sure I give a nod to those folks that have worked hard for us to get back to this point, to be able to be out there practicing, doing the little things, and from the administrative folks to any of the athletic trainers, the strength conditioning staff, and all the various people who've played a role in getting us back to the football field.
Thank you, Coach. That's it for me for now.
And Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, Jay, could you talk a little bit about what you see in Shaw and how you expect him to be used?
Well, I expect Broderick to be a solid addition to the group. He's a downhill player with some really good size, being a taller back and then having good solid weight. You're really seeing him do some good things and finishing forward with the football. And, in this game, we want to be in a situation that when you get to your third and ones, you get to your fourth and ones, you want to be able to convert those first downs and having another big body back that can lean in there and just by the stature alone is going to fall for 1.5 yards, So having that addition there, I really think gives us another boost in particular in those short yardage situations. Not that that's going to be his sole role, but that's something that I could see as an immediate impact for him for us here.
I just seen a limited number of clips of him. Would you characterize him as a power back, as a wait and see back, or a glider, or how would you describe him?
It's really one of the things that I try not to do is label a guy until we get the armor on, right? We haven't put on shoulder pads and helmets yet because it's a different game when you're playing in underwear. It's a total different game. You're playing ghost tempo, guys running around, towels flying and guys looking cute with their wristbands. I'm going to wait until we get the armor on. That's when we're playing some real football. That's when we're playing the style of football that I want, when you get those shoulder pads and helmets on, you see. So right now, I can't put a stamp and say he's this type of runner, that type of runner. Let me see what's happening when we get to those inside run periods. We get to those 11-on-11 sessions, okay, see what happens when the defense can actually hit you back and not just say boo, right? Then we'll determine. So I'm gonna reserve that part for a couple of days down the line, if you don't mind.
All right. Good to see you in person, sort of here, Coach. Hope your family's doing well right now.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
I talked a little bit about Shaw. Can you run us through the rest of your running back room? I mean, you talked about the fullbacks as well, but guys like Chris, like Marcel, like DeCarlos, and then the 3 true freshmen that you have now.
Yeah, well, one of the things I'm seeing from the group as a whole is just another sense of energy, after having all that hiatus and not being able to be out on the field or be in the meeting room and talking through things. And heck, we're still not in the meeting room, we're doing a lot of Zoom still, but just being able to get out there, you see a new sense of energy, that first day kind of juice that you have, you see it at a whole nother level right now. So it really is showing that they've done a great job in, preparing themselves for this time. Chris Brown, he looks great. He's moving really well, doing some good things, catching the ball. He's been begging to get some different routes in there, wants to do it all. Chris wants to get out there and split out at wide receiver. Like, hey, we're going to crawl before we walk. Let's keep doing what we do here within the run game and within the pass concepts that we have that are driven for us, or the complementary part of it that's driven for us. Marcel Dancy, you've really seen him do a good job in going from not only from where we're at in the spring, but to our walkthrough segments and these first couple of practices, seeing him really being dialed in on the details, dialed in on the little things, doing a much better job with his run reads and understanding how the defense is going to fit things and giving himself a chance to be successful. DeCarlos Brooks, big growth steps, and you look at it and you say, hey, with all this time off, how did these guys, how have they grown? How have they taken, these next steps for you, Coach? Well, they've been diligent in understanding the scheme and putting in the time in the playbook and listening to these Zooms that we've been recording and sending back to them so they have another opportunity to listen to them later on, and really, one of the big things there is being able to talk the same language, so you get a new system coming in, you get new coaches, new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach. You really want to make sure you get everybody talking the same language. So, it may have been said one way before, but this is how we say it now. So now we're communicating fluidly with each other. We're not trying to stop and figure out the word association versus talking directly to each other. So that's been, I think, a big part of seeing DeCarlos take his next steps, and with those young guys, I'm fired up about them. They work. They just work. They're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, but with a sense of urgency, all right, and with a sense of understanding the standard here that we're going to have in this room. That you're going to have to work. You're going to have to take great notes. You're going to have to be detailed and disciplined. Coach Wilcox hit some great things the other day, talking to the team about an uncommon sense of self-discipline. And I think that we are making sure we apply that to the field and off the field, make sure that we're doing the right things to stay COVID compliant, not jeopardize what we got going or jeopardize the hard work that people put in for us to get back here. So Chris Street, he's been awesome. He put on some great weight this offseason. Chris, when he signed here, Chris about 190 pounds. Chris is up to 208 pounds right now, looking good, looking good. Hasn't missed a step, coming back from the situation he had with the injury in high school. Looks great. Doesn't look like he's lost a step at all. Damian Moore, I'm excited to see that guy in pads. I'm excited. I really am excited to see him in pads. He's another one of those guys that we're talking about before. Hey, let's reserve the judgment for when we see him playing real football before we say exactly what he is or isn't. But Damian has been nails in the room. If you had a chance to just sit in our meeting room, you would think Damian had been in the program for 3 years. Answering questions before I can finish them sometimes, and that's a good thing. That shows that he's doing a great job with the notes, doing a great job studying film and kind of doing his own assessment of things. And Ashton Stredick, the last freshman, Ashton is going to be a very good one for us. Ashton, obviously he walked on here, but for us, we don't really care how they come here. Once you're in the building as a Bear, you are a Bear. It doesn't matter where you come from, how you got here. Everybody's on the same page. And Ashton, he's got some heat. If you don't know what I mean by heat, he is fast. Okay, Ashton is fast. We got some little things that we're going to continue to work on and push him, but Ashton is fast, and I hope to see him compete not only in our room but compete over there for Coach Regal and getting in onto some special teams. When you got a guy with speed like that, you try to find a way to get him involved as soon as he can. As long as he can grasp the material, and understand the situations that we're putting them in and allow him to do what he does. Like they say, you can't coach speed. Either you got it or you don't.
Fantastic. Thank you, Coach.
Not a problem. Lorenzo, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Coach? Good to see you
Good. How
again.
you doing?
Yeah.
Good.
How's life treating you now these days?
I can't complain. I mean, all these people that have put in all this work for us to be able to get back, here to work in person with these guys, to get back on the field. I'm just humbled at the tireless hours that these people put in for us to have a chance to do this, to give these young men the opportunity to play football this season and, to really continue to take the next growth steps with Cal Bear football. I mean, going from, back-to-back winning seasons, and having something to build on and the work that they've put in, not only the players, but Coach Becton, the training staff, Mr. Knowlton, and all the other admin people to give us this opportunity. I mean, I got nothing to complain about, nothing at all.
Mm-hmm. Great. Kyle, do we just ask, go ahead and start asking away, or?
Go for it. I'm good.
Okay, so we talked to Drew Schlegel earlier, and looks like the fullback position has a lot more depth, and just so happens Cal Poly used the fullback a lot. So match made in heaven already for those guys, AT?
Well, it's a lot of fun having those guys in there. One, they obviously the position that they're doing is a little bit different, but my expectation is for them to know exactly what the H's run or what the tailbacks run in the system, and vice versa. The runners, Chris, Marcel, DeCarlos, Bradrick, those guys, they got to know what those guys are doing as well. So it's a added boost to the room. It's another piece that we have to engage in and something that we have to learn and be able to understand. And so coming from Cal Poly, where we used a fullback, a little bit more, slightly different, but there's a lot of things that, I've been able to implement within helping them grow here in terms of being able to set up blocks and how to finish blocks, things like that. And some of those things that they've already done, now it's really about, again, the details and helping them refine what they're doing so that we can have success. We don't have the pitfalls with it. And having a guy like Drew Schlegel, who has some playing experience already, is awesome. Having a guy who's hungry as heck like Zach is awesome. So I'm fired up about, our guy down there from Central Valley. Okay, and I'm fired up about my alpaca farmer as well.
Coach, what are your impressions, your early impressions of the quality and character of your running back room?
Well, I'll start with the characters. I think that is probably, one of the biggest things that we as coaches look at and want to make sure we continue to help mold these guys into the best men they can be when their time here is done. We want to make sure that they're able to move forward into their life in whatever aspect it may be, being a professional in whatever field it may be it engineering, be it professional football, be it a professor, whatever it may be, So the character of the group is amazing. I think that Coach Wilcox and the staff have done a great job getting these guys here that fit this place, and the way they uphold themselves is phenomenal. I can't wait to where we get through, all of what we have going on with the pandemic, to where we can actually get back to interacting and doing things the way we want. Get these guys over to my house, because I would love for my kids to be around them, for my kids to have a chance to play with them and engage with them. Love these guys to have a chance to meet my wife, get some of her home cooking. Just so you know, she is the best cook ever. So just getting them around there, and I can't wait till we can go into schools and go down here to local high schools in Berkeley and Oakland, Walnut Creek, wherever it may be, so that they can be an inspiration. They can be a place that these youngsters can look up to. I feel great about who they are, and I look forward to the first opportunity they say, hey, yeah, we got a community service opportunity. We're going to, going to the Children's Hospital. We're going to Berkeley High, wherever it may be. All the running backs we signed up, we're going. And I feel great about who they are, and that's why I can't wait to do it, because I want everybody else to see what type of young men that are here in this program.
We've got Coach AT till 1 p.m. So if anyone has any final questions, please send it in the chat box on behalf of Kyle.
And I'm sorry, I got wrapped up in the character part about the last part of the question. Can you repeat that first part of it as well? You said character, and there was something else that you said there.
Depth and talent to the running back room too.
Depth and talent. Wow. I mean, it's what you want. You want guys who are competitive, right? You want a group of guys who want to push each other to get the best out of each other, and that's one of the things that we said from day one. So we're going to compete. We're going to compete with each other. We're going to compete and push our defense. We're going to compete, all right, on Saturdays as well. So having a group of guys, the upper three with experience competing with each other, right, and be competitive to be the teacher in the group as well too. You can't say enough about the guys who want to help the young guys learn. We take care of our young. Okay, in the running back room here. We're going to take care of the young guys and nurture them and make sure they understand on and off the field the way that we need to continue to do things. And so I want guys to be competitive about, hey, who's going to teach the freshmen, right? Who the freshmen going to gravitate to, because you're giving them all the little nuggets that are going to help them be successful. So the competition is going to be awesome. You're going to see us competing every single day. You're not going to see us sitting back saying, okay, hey, we've arrived. Never. Hard hat mentality. Okay, we play with a chip on our shoulder. We're going to go to work every single day.
With Justin Baker, I know he's listed at receiver, but was talked about how versatile he might be on signing day. Just, do you have your hand in his development at all, or where does he stand as far as position groups go?
Justin Baker, he's in the wide receiver room with Coach Toller. I know that Justin is a versatile athlete. I know he'll have a hand in the special teams, and hey, I'm not turning any players away. You give me somebody, let's go. Especially if they can go like that. I've even made my pitch say, hey, give me Aiden Lee for a couple reps. I'll take him too. So there's some guys over there. So I'm excited to see what Justin does, not only in the wide receiver room, and then Coach Musgrave. I mean, he's going to put the best packages together to get the balls in players' hands and get them in the space they need to be, where they can get out there and do what they do best. So, if we get a chance to get the ball in Justin Baker's hands from a running back position, awesome, right? Awesome. Justin Baker, hopefully be the touchdown maker.
All right, we got time for one more question if anybody wants to take it, and then I know AT's got to get out of here.
All right.
Or not. All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Go Bears.